All right, I'm here tonight in my basement with my Blade 350QX, and I've just had a lot of fun with it. I've put 9 batteries through it over the past 2 days, and my average flight time was 12 between 12 and 14 minutes. That's because I was doing a lot of slow flight. Today, in stability mode, I had some really good forward motion going, and I was doing some pretty hard stops and just playing with it, making it go up and down, and that cut it down to just under 12 minutes before the light on the back started flashing. So let's take a look at this. All right, I have my DX8 here, and this is the 350QX, really nice looking. The battery hatch is the rear part, and there's this red plastic cover. Push in the little tab, pull it up, that pops off. Surprised it's kind of a thin plastic, but I think that could have been made a little bit better. So inside is your EC3 connector and a battery tray, this gray battery tray here, and it has posts that go down into the body. So if you know someone with a 3D printer, you might be able to get a slightly bigger battery tray in there. But as it is, stock batteries are a pretty tight fit to get in there. And as you can see, even without it strapped down, it holds in there really tight, which is why they keep saying you cannot really get a much bigger battery in there. But since the battery tray is actually not part of the body, and it's just posts going down in there, I can't see why someone can't design one with a 3D printer. Of course, I haven't taken it apart and gone all the way back in there. Maybe there's a reason. But always a possibility that you can do that. I'm using a DX8, and if you go to RC Groups and go through the thread, the new product thread on this, I posted the stock DX8 settings I had on there, which I think are accurate, but not 100% sure. I put them all in the right way, and it seemed to fly well. So turn this on, and you get a beep. And there we go. Right now I have it set for stability mode. Of course, green light is smart mode, blue light, stability mode, red light, agility mode, but you probably already know that. 4 nice brushless motors. This guy has a lot of power. The body, very sleek. The only thing I don't like about it is everything's attached. The arms, everything is one piece. So if you break an arm, then there we go, back to blue. You got to replace the body. I think it's like $35 or just under $35. So you got to watch that. And a lot of people say they don't like this. Get some light on there. That is, I believe, the compass, and it's in the landing gear. But that gets it away from the main board and a lot of the interference it might have. I was flying with the stock settings on my DX8. The one thing I changed is the throttle cut. I moved it from the trainer button, and I have it back over. I set it up for mix 1. I did that because there we go. Because I'm heli flyer, and I'm used to that as my throttle hold. So I like the fact that I can hit it and stop the blades just like I would with most of my helicopters. Now, make sure I'm not too close to anything here. I'm in stability mode. I'm going to do a quick right-left. And that'll blow everything off the table. And that's what happens. Then I hit my little throttle cut. So I'll show you that again. You go right, left. Boom. Starts up. And those will run until you do auto landing, and like 5 seconds later they stop, or you hit the throttle cut. Okay, before we get to videos of it flying, just a few more things. And you'll see in the video when I fly it at night, these LEDs are really nice. Very visible at night. They're not just on the arms, they're also in the vents around the body. Is very visible from the ground. And of course the rear LED, that's how you know that the rear is facing you, is by either, green, blue, or red lit up. And of course the red LEDs are on the front, the blue LEDs are on the back. And if you're like me, you're going to lose orientation anyhow. I did that once, but just flip the return home switch and it brings it right back. And if you're going to fly this at night, I recommend a big field with nothing around, because even with return home mode, it can still run into something on the way back. So let's get to some actual videos, and I'll keep narrating my review while I'm doing that. Alright, this is a demonstration of smart mode and stick relativity. Right off the ground, I jammed this throttle all the way up. Didn't do it slowly, just instantly put it up. There was a nice controlled descent, very little wobble, and when I got to the top, it was about 140, 145 feet in the air. I let it sit for a minute, and then I hit return home, and it brought it back down really nice. And of course, this is just straight up and down, but it really, really nice feature. The only thing about smart mode, that smart circle, I understand the idea behind it. One time, my circle shifted, and I tried to bring it back into my yard, and it got stuck over my chain link fence, so I had to land it outside the yard and then go get it. So if you're going to fly this, I would definitely recommend a larger field to start with, and even on return home, it doesn't always land in the same place. One time I took off from my picnic table, and it landed about 5 feet away when I hit return home. So just got to watch that, and I might need to calibrate it, but I love the way smart mode works. And here's a quick demonstration of stability mode. I took it up, did some spins, some quick circuits. The flight envelope, even though it's limited to keep you from flipping over, is it's still pretty decent angle to it. You can get some decent speed up, as you'll see here in a second, when I go right in front of me.
Oh, I didn't get that. Sorry.
And I wasn't even doing full stick. This was only my third time flying it, so I was taking my time with it. The one thing I like about stability mode, the position hold, if you let go of the sticks, it will slow down, eventually come to a stop, but it sort of glides along
Don't get it past the
like a puck on an air hockey table, and then it comes to a stop, and then it'll stay there. Now you still have to keep control of the throttle, but it really does lock its position. And here I think I'm about to do another return home, which my son just loves watching it land and return home. I actually let him fly in smart mode. I let him take it up and put it out forward, and then he just loves hitting the switch for return home. Alright, this is a really short demo of agility mode, because I had it one day and didn't feel like breaking it, and I just hit return home. Another thing about return home, if you're low, I've noticed that when it's coming back towards the center, sometimes it'll rise. It seems the lower to the ground you are. I had it one time rise 10 feet while coming back to
That's actually pretty cool how it finds
its landing position and then going down. So that's something you have to keep in mind. You really don't want things over it if you're going to be using return home. At this point, my cameraman wanted to plan the playground, and I decided to just fly in the dark. So I took it up high in safe mode, and I was playing with safe mode, and I realized I can fly with one hand at night in safe mode. You just take your left hand and steer, move from stick to stick, and my right hand I use to record this video. So as you can see, doing return home, because I was already pretty far into the flight. Now, one thing I have noticed with the battery, the low battery warning, the blinking, if you're flying sometimes, you might see it and you'll be like, oh, it's a little early, and you bring it in a little bit and it'll stop. So I've done that a few times, and I've just let it go and kept flying. And I wait for it to constantly blink. I think it's every 3 seconds. And then I land. It's sort of like a little false positive. But after landing, all the batteries, I've never been below 3.8 when I put them back on the charger. So you can really wait for that light to start blinking the 3 different colors, and then it goes back to whatever mode you're in. then it blinks the 3 colors again. So that's one thing you have to keep an eye out on. Another thing I really like about this, I've flown the Nano QX and the MQX, and I noticed today, even on stability mode, if I would cut the motors, well, not cut, but if I would reduce them greatly and come down fast and then pop back up, I wasn't getting that little wobble that you get sometimes when you're coming down with the smaller quads, because you're hitting your own turbulence, and I was really impressed by that. So I had just enough battery life to get in one last quick night flight, and I did this completely one-handed, the takeoff, going forward, hitting the return home, and I was able to tape with my other hand. One thing I noticed is if you're doing really fast forward flight, even in smart mode, it dips a little bit. Today I was on a basketball court about 2 feet above the court. I went forward and I went down. And I just scraped the bottom of the legs off the blacktop. So if you're going to do fast flight, it's not really that big a deal, but it's something if you're close to the ground, you might want to be aware of it. And here I hit return home, and you can see there the battery light blinked a little bit. And then see, it doesn't blink again for a while. The manual says when you see the battery light blink, you should land immediately, but you should just be aware that sometimes it'll blink, and it doesn't mean the battery's dead. Sometimes you just give it a really hard throttle in stability mode, and it'll cause it to blink. At that point, you can just hover around maybe for a minute or two more, and you'll be fine. There you have it, the Blade 350 QX. A lot of fun to fly, a lot of power, and very stable. Love the position hold. I love smart mode, stability mode. Still have to get used to agility mode, but I'm going to be flying this, I think, for a long time. I don't have the GoPro camera mount on there right now because I don't have a GoPro camera. I did put a little piece of Velcro on the bottom and put a keychain cam on it, but the vibrations gave it huge jello effect in the video, so I won't even show you that. And for comparison, here it is next to the Nano QX. It's a little brother that was released earlier in the summer. The first thing was safe mode, and after buying this, I got the Prentice S15E, which I also love. And of course, my trusty old MQX, one of the first things I've ever bought, and that really helped me learn how to fly, because when I first started flying it, it was really difficult, and after a while, it just became easy, and it helped me move on to bigger and better things. So I think right now it's $50. But let's see. Good things, powerful, fun. Bad things, the body and a lot of proprietary stuff. But I can overlook that because it was $420, and I thought that was a fair price for what I got. And that's Bind and Fly. If you want ready to fly, it comes with the transmitter. That, I believe, is $469.99. If I think of anything else, of course, I'll be posting to the forum on RC groups. Until then, hope this helped you, and I will talk to you guys later.